Society sold you a pathetic, toxic lie about soulmates. They told you a soulmate brings peace, that they come to hold your hand and magically fix your broken life. They lied. A true divine partner is absolutely not a peacemaker. They are a catastrophic storm, and they are walking directly into your life unannounced, not to comfort you, but to violently shatter everything you thought was safe. Do not look away. You have been praying to the universe for a partner. You sit in your messy room, scrolling through your phone, begging for someone to come and complete you. But the universe does not send an elite apex predator to a weak, half-finished victim. It sends a mirror. And when this person finally arrives, their sheer presence will instantly expose every single lazy habit and pathetic excuse you have been hiding. The warning is incredibly specific: unannounced. Why unannounced? Because if the universe gave you a warning, you would fake it. You would clean up your act for a few days, put on a cheap mask, and pretend to be someone you are not. The universe demands absolute authenticity. It wants to crash this person into your life exactly when your guard is down, to see what you truly look like in the dark. When they step into your reality, they won't knock politely. They will kick the door off its hinges. Because a real lifetime partner operates on an entirely different frequency. They are not looking for a dependent. They are looking for a co-ruler. They are looking for a titanium mind that can stand beside them while the rest of the world burns. Are you a ruler, or are you just another dependent seeking a rescuer? The weak masses are terrified of being shaken up. They want a relationship that allows them to stay comfortable, to watch mindless television, and to slowly decay together. But the chosen one craves the disruption. When your soulmate arrives, your current life has to violently die. Your mediocre friends will be cut off. Your lazy weekends will be completely eradicated. The comfort zone will be permanently burned to the ground. This incoming collision is not about romance. It is about psychological empire building. Two meteors don't gently tap against each other. They collide and reshape the entire landscape. When this person looks into your eyes, they will look right past your flesh and stare directly into your ambition. If they see hesitation, if they smell fear, they will walk right past you without a second thought. You claim you want a king. You claim you want a queen. But you are actively living your daily life like a peasant. You want premium, elite loyalty, but your daily habits are incredibly cheap. The universe is laughing at your audacity. You cannot attract a highly evolved, dangerous partner if you still cry over minor inconveniences and surrender to your alarm clock every morning. The shake-up is going to be incredibly painful, because this person will force you to elevate your standards to a level that makes you physically uncomfortable. They will not tolerate your whining. They will not accept your "I'll do it tomorrow" mentality. Their love is incredibly aggressive. It is a relentless demand for your absolute highest potential. If you are weak, their love will feel like an attack. Let us be brutally honest. Most people never meet their true match because they spend their entire lives settling for convenient distractions. They settle for temporary warmth because they are terrified of the cold. They compromise their elite future just to avoid feeling lonely on a Friday night. But the chosen one endures the freezing isolation. You remain empty-handed until the exact right weapon presents itself. The heavy footsteps are approaching. The timeline is completely out of your control. You cannot stop this unannounced arrival, and you cannot delay it. The question is no longer when they will get here. The terrifying, blood-chilling question you must answer right now is, what exact pathetic version of yourself are they going to find when they finally open the door? You think finding a soulmate means finding your missing half. That is a weak, parasitic mindset. A true soulmate doesn't complete you. They expose you. If you are only half a person, they will not politely fill your empty spaces. They will violently crush you under the immense weight of their own completeness. You must be a fully forged, lethal weapon before they even arrive. When the shakeup happens, it will feel like a massive, terrifying earthquake. It will violently shatter the fragile glass house of your comfortable life. All your fake friends, your cheap habits, and your pathetic little routines will instantly collapse into dust. Because an apex predator absolutely cannot coexist in an environment built for sheep. Look closely at your current circle. Look at the people you waste your precious weekends with. If your elite partner walked into the room right this second, would they respect the people you surround yourself with? Or would they look at you with absolute, freezing disgust? You are casually settling for trash while aggressively praying for treasure. Real, dangerous love does not stroke your ego. It holds a razor-sharp blade to your pathetic excuses. It doesn't pat you on the back when you fail. It stares you dead in the eye and demands to know why you didn't push harder. A true soulmate is your ultimate judge, jury, and ruthless executioner of mediocrity. The weak masses are absolutely terrified of isolation. They constantly need background noise and cheap validation from strangers. But the chosen one knows that isolation is the elite training ground. You must sit in the pitch-black darkness alone, fighting your own internal demons, just to build a psychological throne strong enough to hold two titans. Society romanticizes the toxic idea of unconditional love. But elite, empire-building love is highly, aggressively conditional. It is strictly conditioned on absolute respect, unyielding discipline, and a relentless, terrifying drive for continuous growth. The exact moment you stop growing and get comfortable, the contract is instantly terminated. If you ever have to lower your high standards just to keep someone around, you are not finding a soulmate. You are purchasing a hostage, using your own elite potential as the currency. The moment you compromise your titanium boundaries to avoid being lonely on a Friday night, you permanently disqualify yourself from the apex tier. The unannounced arrival is deliberately designed to catch you completely off guard. It is a brutal, universal audit of your soul. They will look exactly at how you handle intense stress, how you handle failure, and how you handle the chaotic reality of a random Tuesday. You cannot fake your way through an audit conducted by a psychological mastermind. This is not a cute fairy tale romance. This is a hostile, psychological takeover of your average life. It is two massive, heavily fortified empires violently colliding to form an unstoppable, world-dominating syndicate. You do not hold hands and walk peacefully into the sunset. You lock your jaws, pull your shoulders back, and march directly into the fire. The heavy footsteps are echoing in the dark hallway. The rusted lock on your front door is already turning. The collision is absolutely imminent. You cannot hide under the bed, and you cannot beg the universe for more time. You better be heavily armored and ready to go to war, because the storm is officially here. When the heavy door finally swings open, your pathetic, fragile ego must instantly die. They absolutely do not care about your past trophies or your comfortable little achievements. They do not care about your sob stories. They only care about the heavy iron you are willing to violently forge right now, in the present moment. If you lead with your ego, they will completely dismantle it in seconds. The shakeup is deliberately designed to break your bones so they heal back as solid titanium. You will feel exposed. You will feel violently inadequate at first, because standing directly next to a true elite titan highlights every single rusted flaw in your own armor. It forces you to realize how much you have been secretly slacking off. Watch the weak masses run back to their toxic exes the exact moment a real predator steps into their life. They are absolutely terrified of the accountability. They would much rather live in a comfortable, rotting swamp than climb a freezing, unforgiving mountain with a true partner. Weakness always retreats to what is familiar and easy. You do not get to bring your empty hands and your heavy emotional baggage to the table. You must bring your own heavily fortified empire. A true king does not marry a beggar. A true king marries a queen who is already commanding her own lethal army. You cannot merge two lives if one of you is just a parasite looking for a free ride. A true divine partner will look at your absolute proudest achievement and coldly ask, "Is that really your absolute best?" They will brutally rip away the illusion that you have made it, because to them, the ceiling you are so proud of is just another fragile floor waiting to be smashed through. Their standard is a relentless, terrifying climb. The unannounced arrival is the universe's ultimate test of your default state. If your default state is lazy, messy, and constantly distracted, the universe will aggressively expose you. You do not get a 5-minute warning to hide the trash and put on a fake smile. You are judged exactly as you are, in the dark, when you thought nobody was watching. Their sudden arrival will act like a massive psychological EMP. Every single cheap distraction, every toxic habit, every meaningless text message will instantly lose its power. The static, useless noise of the world goes dead silent. You will suddenly realize how much of your life was completely wasted on things that simply do not matter. You are not competing against them. You are standing back to back in the exact center of a slaughterhouse, daring the rest of the chaotic world to make a move. It is absolute, terrifying loyalty, forged entirely in the brutal fires of mutual ambition. It is a closed, heavily guarded syndicate of two. No outsiders allowed. If you constantly fear losing them, you have already permanently lost. Fear is a weak, pathetic frequency that apex predators can smell from miles away. You do not keep a titan by crying and begging them to stay. You keep them by constantly evolving into a weapon so undeniably lethal they would be absolute fools to ever leave your side. The ground beneath your feet is already starting to violently crack. The chaotic energy is swirling right outside your completely unguarded window. The unannounced collision is literally seconds away from permanently changing your entire existence. You cannot run. You cannot hide. Lock your jaw, tighten your fists, and brace for the absolute impact. The door is completely off its hinges. The unannounced storm is finally standing in the absolute center of your room. There is no time to hide the mess. There is no time to put on your fake, polite smile. They are looking directly at you, analyzing every single micro-expression on your face. Are you shrinking into the shadows, or are you expanding to meet their terrifying energy? If you try to play the pathetic victim right now, they will instantly walk out. Titans do not rescue victims. Titans conquer territories. They are looking for a spark of absolute madness in your eyes. They want to see that you have been surviving in the freezing dark, sharpening your own blade, completely entirely independent of anyone else's help. The weak masses will look at this kind of intense, aggressive relationship and call it toxic. They will say it is too demanding, too heavy, too volatile. Let the sheep bleat from the safety of their boring pens. They cannot possibly comprehend the language of apex predators. What they call toxic, the chosen one calls the ultimate, elite psychological evolution. You must willingly let the fire of their presence burn away every single fake version of yourself. All the masks you wore to please society. All the compromises you made to fit in. They all turn to black ash instantly. You are left with nothing but raw, unfiltered, brutal authenticity. It is the most terrifying and liberating exposure you will ever face. A divine collision like this permanently alters the trajectory of your bloodline. You are no longer just surviving the weak. You are planning a 100-year empire. Together, you become a massive, unshakable titanium vault. The chaos of the outside world violently crashes against your combined walls, and you both just sit there in the dark, smiling at the noise. They didn't come to hold your hand while you cry about the past. They came to grab you by the collar, pull you up to your feet, and point you directly toward the war zone. They demand that you stop bleeding over things you cannot change and start violently executing the things you can. Their love is the heaviest, most demanding weight you will ever carry. The universe sent them unannounced because it needed to shock your system. It needed to throw a massive psychological EMP into your lazy routine to short-circuit your procrastination. You wanted a sign? This person is the loudest, most undeniable, terrifying sign the universe has ever produced. And they are standing right in front of you. There is no going back to normal. Normal is permanently dead. You cannot experience the violent collision of two titans and then politely go back to working a miserable, average life. You have tasted the raw frequency of absolute power. From this exact second forward, you either conquer the world together or you die trying. Look them directly in the eyes. Lock your jaw. Pull your shoulders back and let the silence stretch until it becomes unbearably heavy. You are ready. The waiting room has been completely, entirely destroyed. The unannounced storm is here, and you are not going to run. You are going to become the center of it. The collision has officially happened. You are the chosen one, and your empire has finally found its co-ruler. If you are ready to let the fire burn your comfort zone to the ground, drop the word collision below and hit subscribe. The weak have been permanently eliminated. Now, rule.